This is part 2 of the Immunity Bio earnings call that Patrick Soon-Shiong and Richard Adcock were hosting the other day. And I got a nice summary via Yahoo Finance, so I wanted to go over this with you. And there were some questions on Twitter that I really wanted to answer because some people have a naive view of an earnings conference call. First of all, Adcock and Patrick, they're not going to be pumpers of their stock. They're not going to be like, oh, let me pump the stock so that our retailers can benefit short term. That's not how they operate. They're very professional people, and you should expect professionalism from such a call. So if in a conference call, they don't offer anything new, the stock will probably go down. Why will it go down? Because if they're reviewing what's already happened in the market's already taken account for that. So the market's already bid the 33 countries in Europe expansion up. The market's already bid the Middle East and North Africa expansion up. The market's already taken account for the lung cancer approval in Saudi. So all that has been attributable to this price increase to a top of $12, right? So if there's no new forward information offered, the stock price will sell off because people will take profit. That's just how it's been since the beginning of time, and you should not expect any different. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to break this down for you so you can understand what's going on, and you can make your own decision on whether you'd like to buy low and sell high or buy low and hold. So let's get into it. All this that I'm going to cover here is pretty much old news. 113 million. So keep that number in mind, net product revenue, compared with 14 million in 2024. This is a huge increase, and we would expect 2026. If you had a gun to my head, I would say expect a 300% increase. Okay, so what's 300% is 200 million is 100%, 300 million is 200%. I'd say 400 million in 2026. I'm being conservative. It could be $1 billion. Hopefully it is, but let's just say 400 million, which would be, again, 300% increase, which is a decline. Usually we see decreasing marginal returns, so that's why I'm being conservative. And then he talked about the 33 countries. We know that. Then we talked about conditional marketing approval, Accord Healthcare, 100 dedicated salespeople. I've covered this. So if I've covered this, the market knows it. Ireland, distribution. Great. All great news. Here's something that's new. Okay, let's get into this. R&D expenses, 218 million. SG&A, 150. R&D is like, let me explain this. Research and development, that's paying the doctors to get the ANKTIVA. Let's say if you have a MacBook from 2015 and you have a MacBook from 2025, the MacBook from 2025 is going to be better. So this is to get the ANKTIVA from 2025 to 2030, 2035 to have a real cancer vaccine. So we absolutely need this, okay? There's no way around it. Sales, general, and admin, that's internal costs. We also need that. We need to keep that down so that they're decreasing that. So that's good. So they're the increase in this has been offset by a decrease in SG&A. We like to see that. And then the net loss attributable to common stockholders, this will obviously turn to profit as sales ramp up. If sales go to 500 million, $1 billion, $2 billion, $10 billion, this is going to be huge. Okay, but right now it's a loss. Also, what's good to know is cash, because cash tells us our financial position. How much of a buffer do we have? So if you have a job, right? Let's say you have a job and you earn $2,000 a month and your house costs $1,500 a month and your other expenses cost $500 a month. That's a break even, okay? But let's say you have $100,000 in cash in your bank account. You have a lot of money to play with. You have a buffer. So you can go negative on some months and then you have that buffer to help you, okay? So this is 2025. We'll do 2026 right here. Carry over the cash. And this is revenue. So I'm going to pull this revenue here. And what did I say before? I said a 300% increase, right? So we'll say 400 million conservatively, and we'll peg that SG&A at 150, and we'll keep that R&D at 200. And we will that's net operating income, by the way. So we'll go that plus that is 50 million net operating income. So much better than, so that's what we're looking at. That's 2026. You can model 2027, 2028. And that's how you get my price target of $208 a share, because we're expecting explosive growth from the revenue side. Okay. So maybe 1.2 billion, right? or that'd be like that. I'm conservative. I'm always going to be conservative in this. Where do we get this? So let's go back to here, right there, 351 million. So they have other expenses of 114. So let's carry that forward. Let's say that they incur other expenses again. And then we have this plus this. Oh, minus 64 million. That's okay. Look at that. Big improvement. And we would expect another big improvement and another big improvement. So this is where it gets really interesting, is that they have minus 64 million, but they have cash, right? Where's their cash? There it is. So they have the cash to cover that. So let's say they put 64 million of that cash to zero that out. And now they have equals 250 minus 64. So that's, why does it do that? So that's generally how a balance sheet interacts with an income statement. And then if they run out of cash, they can raise cash via a convertible note of 500 million. But they also have this interest liability. So those two kind of balance out. So that's a liability. They have to pay the interest on their liability. So it's right here, 325 million in revenue interest liability on the balance sheet. So if this ever runs out, if this cash, so they don't have enough cash to cover their interest liability, that's where they have their convertible note. And their convertible note can be converted to equity, which would dilute the shares. Okay? So you say, well, dilution is bad. That affects shareholders. Yeah, but it's also necessary for a biotech to survive. You have to assume the dilution is going to come. In fact, they've been diluting since 2019. So that's just a part of life. The real question is this number going to be higher? That's where the fun stuff comes, right? Is this number going to be higher? Because if it is, the market cap goes way higher and the buyout probabilities go way higher and then stockholders win. So if we're at a conservative 400 million, which I like to be, yeah, we're covering our costs and there's still growth. And let's say ANKTIVA gets approved for lung and papillary and CIS and pancreas and HIV, then this number goes way higher, right? This number, we can entertain these types of numbers, right? That's the fun part. So don't look at my numbers as gospel. They're not. They're just conservative. But I'm trying to break down for you guys what we are looking at as shareholders. We're looking at a pretty good growth from minus 351 to minus 64. Or if we go 500, then we go minus 351 to plus 36. That's where we want to be, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm just going on my conservative math, but I could be wrong, and I probably am. But I'm just going to be this person that stays with their 2 feet grounded. And that's what I want to give to you guys, a 2 feet grounded probabilistic view of the market. But this could be booming. If we have another 700% year-on-year increase, we're looking at that. And that's real value, people, because that covers that. If that covers that, there's no need for that. If there's no need for that, there's no dilution. You got it? So that's going to be the show for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you stay to the end, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And the algorithm loves when people stay to the end. So if you stay to the end, I also love you. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video, which is coming soon, by the way, because I did a nice video on the Chris Cuomo. I have a lot of thoughts on that, and your feedback really helps me. So thank you for interacting with me on Twitter, and I'll see you in that video.